What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. This is one of those days that you kind of say it's just one of them days, and you don't really like when you have stories like this. You know, it's amazing to me because we have the whole narrative that the Cowboys can't win with Dak Prescott because he is costing too much money, that he's the reason that we stink and we need to start over. I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of working on a bathroom here in an 1837 built house. It's a beautiful house. It just needs some TLC. Unfortunately, this is where it's kind of sad for me working here because I had such a great friend and mentor who this was his house, and he's passed. Taught me a lot about everything. But anyway, here's where everybody blames Dak Prescott. It's Dak Prescott's fault. We need to move on from that guy.
I'm talking about Mr. Skip.
Well, I'm not even talking about Skip. Shout out to Michael Anthony Fitness Reaction. I'm going to need a few more of these too for being here and helping me with this. Here's the thing. We know that the Cowboys aren't getting any free agents, okay? It's not something that they do at all, ever. But this is to show you how bad it is. Now I understand the Cowboys say, we can't, keep Tyron Smith because there's no money and stuff, and there's ways to work the system. Bobby Belt posted on Twitter a breakdown of what teams were spending in free agency. The Cowboys are so far behind everybody else spending. They are the absolute positive worst. Altogether, between re-signing their long snapper, bringing back Jordan Lewis, signing Kendricks, they have spent a total of $11 million. $11 million. I think the next closest one is 39. And here's where this is where you kind of say, you guys are idiots. You're just idiots. You don't have a clue as to what the hell you're doing. And you want to know how you can prove this? The fact that New Orleans has spent $50-some million when they were $73 million in the red. Let me say that again. They were before they worked on getting the number down, they were minus $73 million. They got under the cap. And they were able to spend $52 million to improve the team. If that doesn't at least kind of let you know that there's a problem here, a big problem, and a big disconnect of what other teams are doing. Now, I'll be the first to say that just spending money on a problem isn't always the best solution. That sometimes you throw money at a problem that it's not fixing the problem. But in anything, you have to spend money in a business, okay? And I have learned this myself. To give you an example, okay, you see this shirt right here? Shout out to my lovely bride. We got a vinyl cutter machine, okay? Vinyl cutter machine, right? And then basically you take a sheet of the vinyl, the heat-treated vinyl, and you print out what you want to cut. Generally speaking, the vinyl comes in solid colors, or maybe you find a camouflage and things like that. There's nothing wrong with it. You cut it out, then you've got to weed out all of this. So this came from one big sheet. Everything that you don't see in there originally was black. You've got to pull it out before you put it on the heat treater. There's nothing wrong with this machine. It's great. It makes really good shirts. Although you can feel the vinyl on here. Then I learned about a sublimation printer. Sublimation printer, you can take any artwork that you want to do. You can take a picture of somebody, and the printer will print out in full colors exactly what you have. Vibrant colors. You guys may have seen where I did Game Time Brian. So the capability of spending that money gives you more to work with. So instead of having to either do multiple layers on something that lays on here and has a chance of actually peeling, the other one has an ink that when you put it on there, the ink bonds with the fabric and doesn't wash out. Now, can I do shirts this way? Of course I can. They don't look bad. But if you really want to have some really cool ones and have all kinds of options and things, you have to spend money to upgrade what you're doing. Otherwise, you're just kind of stuck where you are. The Cowboys are so far behind that the next closest team to them is spent $39 million. They've spent 11. And we sit here and we say, let's get rid of the guys that we have that are actually doing something. Let's get rid of Dak Prescott, the only guy that we've signed a big contract to that actually you look at and make the argument of saying he deserves another big contract, as opposed to when we signed $90 million to Zeke Elliott and he couldn't even finish his contract. That you literally are taking on dead money because of his contract. So the things that are working, people want to get rid of. And you can't sit here and say, if you don't have the tools, because I have people that say, hey man, I got my logo and things. Can you get Tracy to do that for me? And I look and I say, sorry, we don't have the capability to be able to do that because we don't have the right kind of equipment. See, that, my friends, is the difference of where the Dallas Cowboys are versus the teams that will go out there and buy the equipment. Now that I've bought the equipment, yeah, I can do more than what we used to do before. Now, that's not to say that we won't use the vinyl machine, because actually there is a thing in here that you have to realize. The one thing about the sublimation printer is it needs to go on white polyester shirts, unless you use the heat-treated vinyl that's specially made for it to print onto, and then you put the whole thing on there. It's got to then be cut out. So it's not a matter of saying we've got to get rid of all of those cheap things, because you're going to need some of those cheaper things to be successful. But you have to have some of the good stuff to work. And Jerry Jones is still trying to tell you that you can't spend money. You can't spend money. We don't have money to spend. How is it that the Dallas Cowboys are the only team in the NFL that doesn't have any money that they can spend? I really want to know that one. All right, good people, I got to finish jackhammering this floor and getting the rest of this tile out. Do my demo, and tomorrow we'll be setting new tile. Got to take out this vanity that's here too, and hopefully the shutoffs in here are good. Actually, they'll hold. You never know when you're dealing with an old house. Peace.